Okay, welcome back to Sheepy Hollow. I'm Mr. Bob. I'm your moderator, your host, you know, all that kind of thing. I'll just check, make sure I'm not flat tire here. Alright, oh. There. Alright. I hope that's not flat. Alright. Oh, get my butt in here. Okay. We're off to the post office again. Found out it was closed between 12 and 1, and guess what time I showed up? And I might have fixed the tripod here. Of course, I'm having problems with it already. Get these little freaking legs moved around. Alright, let's try that. So, it's 0 degrees out. Oh. I'll have to get the garbage can on the way home. So, good news. The part's in, they're coming tomorrow to fix the freaking geothermal. Oh. Geez, there's something going on here. We're 822 feet above sea level now. It's higher than normal. Anyway. I'm holding with bated breath whether this works or not. Who knows if they sent a good one. But it'll be 3 weeks on Saturday, today's Thursday, that we haven't had heat in our house. And believe me, it was a long 3 weeks because I'm not one that likes to be cold. Just make sure that the heated steering wheel's on, and I better check, I think the heated seat's on. I could use a heated seat in the house. Anyway, they'll be here tomorrow morning to fix it. And then we're going to have to start friggin' fighting with them on the $200 and some odd to install the damn thing now. And it's still under warranty. See, the door's locked just at the bottom of the hill here. Oh well, so that's good news. That means we can start cutting back on the volume of wood that I've had to put in through the fireplace so far. We must have burned a good cord of wood in the last 3 weeks. Now, mind you, I've learned the best way for me in that little fireplace. If you pack it solid, and then you let it burn down till there's just coals left, but it's still putting up a little bit hot enough to make the fan work still. Then what you do is you level it all out in the bottom of the firebox. Oh, there's Alonzo out for his walk. "80-some years old. He walks several miles a day." Yes, sir. So you smooth it all out, and there'll be about an inch or so ash left come after it's burnt. And Jedediah, I'm going to look into other heating sources, but financially we just can't afford to go $5,000 to upgrade. Now what do we got going on here? The boys. Can't afford $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 to replace it or put a better one in or whatever. If I was going to do something where the solarium is, I'd put one of those little wood-burning stoves in there, right in the middle of the house. And I want to look around and see if there's anything like a solar fan. I know you can put those little ones that work off the heat. Eco fans, they call them. We got one, but it did make a whole heap of difference because it's not really sitting like in the garage where I have another wood stove. That little guy heats up good enough and it gets the fan spinning, but the way the Napoleon in the house works, that plate out on the top doesn't get hot enough. Look at that road, is it nice? Smooth. Smooth as a baby's bottom, they say. I see the whoop-de-doos coming. The frost a little bit's coming out of the road with all this warm weather. So I'm glad I got those trees down. There's about a half a dozen more from yesterday. Here, I just gotta wipe the window off a bit here. Probably another half a dozen poplar, and the idea is I'm going to burn that anyway in the house. My wife won't know the difference between one piece of wood and another, and neither do I, actually. On the outside, you can tell like an oak from a maple, but when you're looking at just the bark, it's not so simple. I see. Where's our sign? I'll have to mention that. Our watch sign for our neighborhood watch. Somebody looks like they tore that one down too. There's a fair amount of crime going on. We're kind of lucky on this road we don't get too much crime. But my neighbor had a couple of snowmobiles stolen, or his last snowmobile stolen, while they were home. They came in and they managed to push this thing out to where they could load it. I think they even stole the trailer as well. And there's a house down at the end of the road here where we're going. It was empty. Nobody's been using it. And they went in and stole all the wire and ripped it out of the walls so they could sell it for money at the metal dealership. terrible. Climate. Alright, we're doing good. It's warming up in here. Don't want to go too fast. A lot of times the moose and animals will come out onto the road here and they'll start licking it to get salt for their diet. I have a salt block down at the bottom of one of the fields. You can see it from the house if you look. You can see it with the binoculars. I put it on an old stump, got it up off the ground. We'll just keep an eye on it. I'm going to get another one. The one, it's got molasses and salt mixed together in some kind of a vitamin thing for deer. And I'll put that there as well. It's nice to help them out. Who never knows, you know, like someday those deer might be feeding you. And as it is now, don't really need to, oh, there's a lady out there with a nice white dog. Nice pretty out here. And I watched a guy on the internet here about a month ago. He had some problem beavers on his new property he bought. Jeez, if the guy didn't eat one, put it in a like a hot pot or whatever you call it, cooked her up, a slow cooker I think it was. His wife didn't have any, but his kid did. And he's got a small homestead, and then he went and bought 500 acres, and now they're fixing it all up. Very impressive. He's got a logging company going in there, taking the logs off, so he can make some money probably to pay the property off. And then he'll end up with the property good to go. But it's nice to be young. He's got skills. He knows how to weld and carpenter and that kind of thing. Oh, somebody's getting something. That guy's got a mask on still. That reminds me, I go in the post office, going to have to put the mask on. It's a good thing we don't have to wear gloves and condoms and everything for this virus. That'll be next. So I'm glad to get the geothermal. Wow, let's say I'm holding my breath. Now my wife doesn't mind the cool temperatures in the house. I just can't handle it. I'm wearing, you know the big Arctic boots that we have. You have a felt that you can pull out to dry it when they get wet. I've been walking around the house at night with those things on my feet just to get that extra heat. I've been trying to grow hair on my chest and my legs like crazy for that extra warmth. Let's go. Ooh, that seat's nice and hot. Sure wouldn't mind a shipping container. Use a shipping container up, a small one, and a big one down over the hill, turn it into a cabin. But a small one I wouldn't mind, just so that we could put the garden tractor, the rototiller, and the snow blower in the summer in there. Oh, we'll just dawdle along here. Oh, these people had recycled today or yesterday. Right. Uh-huh. Tree mulcher. That's what we need up in the frickin' on the wood road. Jeez, I got some kind of waste to do the ditch there. All right. I'm not sure if somebody's in there or not, but we'll find out shortly. The old mess. Monday I gotta go to the city. Okay. Be right back. Oh. Okay. She's got a new puppy. You had to show me your picture. Okay. I don't know how the old lady does that. She gave me stamps to pay for the postage on these 2 letters. And instead of putting 2 big stamps on it, I thought, okay, well, I'll chip in, give her the money. It's like she knows that she hasn't got enough. Sends me on these missions. And I have to dig into my wallet to pay for stuff. I mean, it cost me 25 cents, but I had to break a $25 or a $5 bill to pay for it. Then the change, I don't keep the change. I put it in the dash, so it ends up there, and then she uses that for whatever. So somehow she's going to end up with $5. Come on here, guy. Let's go. That's the Burtts store. They had a pretty decent burger in there. Oh, that's the snowmobile that was up at our house. Or on our road. Here's a big tree. So that's 25 minutes basically to get to the store, and another good 20 minutes to get to the city, at least from here. We're about 45 minutes to an hour out of the city, which is just far enough. I've got all my little chores done for the old lady today. Emptied the compost from the garage, or from the kitchen, all the vegetable peelings and that, into the storage out in the garage. Mop the floor. Some old lady out there having a smoke. I'm so glad I don't smoke anymore. Man, oh man. I think it took me friggin' near 50 years or more to quit. I was smoking easily a pack a day of cigarettes. And then when I went over to the Middle East, I was smoking 3 packs of 20s a day because they were so cheap. And then I couldn't handle that anymore. So I was smoking a box of cigars, these, the great big ones, the King Edwards. I was smoking a box of one of them there every 5 or 6 days, 10 cigars a day. And then, one day, we were on vacation we were in Calgary at my mom's, and we're getting a flight at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm standing out there on the deck getting ready to go, and I was having a cigar, and I said to myself, before we came on vacation, that I'll quit before I come back home, because I got a 24-hour flight from Canada back to United Arab Emirates. Anyway, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm out there. There's a driving rain, almost horizontal, a cold, icy wind, and the rain was just freaking pouring out. And I'm standing out there trying to smoke a cigar, and I thought, you're an idiot. Why are you doing this to yourself for? And it was then in my head, it was okay to quit smoking. I've never really had an urge after that. Maybe the odd temptation, but it's like drinking. I don't care about to do that anymore because I've already seen the light come on for that. And that was it. Didn't have to smoke anymore. So knock on wood, I'm still not smoking, but now I've got COPD. I can't breathe very good. When we were in Abu Dhabi, just before I had to take a medical, before I leave the country, and I was blowing into the breathing machine, and the little girl said, blow. I says, I am. And I didn't have enough wind to make it register. She went and got another machine, thinking the machine was something wrong, and I couldn't do it. So it was nice to know that the company I worked for paid you for all your ailments. And I got another year's salary out of it. So I would have to say, I don't know if they do that anymore, but I'll say this: it was a pretty good company to work for, even though they stubbed their toes lots and weren't too sure what they were doing, but we managed to get by. I would train daily, maybe 15, 16, 17 young adults, somewhere between 15 and 23, 24 years old, on how to run a gas plant or an oil refinery and desalination plants, stuff like that. And they had to learn English before they came to me, and by and large, it was pretty good. I wouldn't mind learning a second language, but it just doesn't click in my head. So when you see me a lot of times at the end of the video, I'll say sayonara and hasta la vista and all these different little whatever, right? Auf Wiedersehen. I'm working on the Dutch one. That was a tough one. I can't remember it. But yeah, I always thought it was important when I was over there to be able to say hello in Arabic or Philippines or Filipino and East Indian. Because it always brought a smile that you could at least try. And then I would also say thank you or you're welcome or whatever. Different strokes over there, boy, I tell you, they're all different. But I managed to keep that job for 13 years and enjoyed it. I didn't dread getting up in the morning like some jobs when you have to go to work. Get up at 6. I'd be there by 7:30. School started at 8:15, and I'd be the first one there, and I'd already be on my second cup of coffee before I have to go to class and start training. Plus, 95% of the guys I worked with were decent. And we basically looked after each other. Because every once in a while somebody would screw up. And the guys would go to bat for you and make your life a little easier. But I'm not going to be going back to work anymore. And I'm thinking about getting rid of LinkedIn. That don't work very good. I suppose it's good in a way if you can, how do I say it? Connect with these guys that you're connected with where they could actually do you some good. I've had quite a few of my contacts ask me to get them a job and stuff like that, of which I tried for a few, but the company's going to hire whoever they're going to hire. They don't really care. They've got something going on in their heads before they hire. So here we are. You see where all the trees, there's a small little watershed through there. They're not supposed to cut right up to the edge of the watershed, but you wait, they'll come back and get it. They'll pay the fine, which is less than the lumber that they took off. And this company, Irving, owns all the Kent building supply places. And because I don't like Irving's practices of their in their wood, I don't shop there. Try to avoid going in there. Also, the other day they took the government trying to get more money for the gas and the oil at the pumps, saying they're not making enough because of COVID. What's going to end up happening, it's just going to make it more inflation for everybody. Yeah, we're in a mess. I think the country will recover easily enough. Once things get going. I try to avoid going into large American multinationals here. I don't really have much choice. Like every once in a while you end up having to go to Walmart. But you know, they say shop locally, but the locals can't get the prices of things as cheap as the big box stores. And these big box stores have a lot of people that they've hired that need the jobs. And no matter what we do, eventually they'll just say, sorry, you're going to have to go to the self-checkout. We don't have cashiers no more. And then eventually everybody will be using the self-checkouts. Personally, I'd rather stand there and have somebody check them in for me. But anyway, that's another day. I see they scraped the road with the plow the other day. They come down here and they drop the teeth down to break the ice up. I'm looking forward to spring where I can get in there and drive up there with the mower instead of dragging the toboggans up, so that I can start cutting that wood up and dragging it back to the house. I figure we might have close to 4 cords there now. And with the rest of the trees that I would like to knock over, we'll have the 10 cords laying on the ground. And we're going to order 4 cords, so I'll have a lot of wood. I won't have to buy any wood next year. Yes, sirree. Oh, the garbage can. Let's get that, throw it in the back. Looks like snow today. Actually snow the next 4 days. Okay. Oh. Man, I'm sore today. Okay, here we go. And it looks like I did a good job fixing the camera, the little ball. I put some super glue at the crack and it seems to be holding all right. And here we are. Home sweet home with bubbles. And I can't see out the back. There. That should be good enough. Let me see before I turn it off. Yeah, that's good. All right. That tire does look low, though. Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. Throw that here. Close the door. Lock it. And good. I'm good to go. Look at the water dripping now. Jeez, I don't like that. Right over the friggin' doorway. Oh, that's okay. So we're good now. Once we get this thing fixed, I'll be happy. So thanks for coming along for the ride. Always appreciate having company. And the wood's in for the day. She wants to clean my desk, but I'm trying to avoid it. Anyway, thanks for coming along for the ride. Sayonara. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Tag. I think that was hello. I can't remember. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a great day.